Hey guys, Stephanie with Steffi Jules. In today's video, we're going to talk about permanent vinyl versus heat transfer vinyl, which is also known as HTV, or in the Cricut world, everyday iron-on vinyl. And we're going to talk about how to tell the difference and how to use them. If you haven't met me before, my name is Stephanie with Steffi Jules. If you're new to my channel, welcome. And if you're returning, welcome back. So right here in front, we're going to have a quick little discussion on the difference between the two vinyls. Now I have a couple of things on my desk right here. As you can see right here, I have these big rolls right here. One of them is called permanent vinyl, and one of them is called HTV, or as known in the world, heat transfer vinyl. Now the difference between the two of them is one of them goes on a substrate or a blank, such as something hard, like for example, a board like this, or a cup, or a wall, or anything that kind of have a hard surface. Whereas HTV vinyl or heat transfer vinyl go on something like what you see like me wearing, on something a little more softer. But there is a catch. You can also put HTV on other hard materials such as a canvas panel or on a wood plank or a wood board. But before we get too far into that, let me show you the difference between permanent vinyl and heat transfer vinyl. So right here, I have two of the vinyls on my actual mat. One of them looks white, and the other one you can see the color on it. Now, with permanent vinyl, which is what this one is right here, you will see the color here, and it's like a big sticker. So think of permanent vinyl as a big old sticker. You basically cut your design out using either your Cricut Machine or Silhouette or Brother Scan and Cut, whatever cutting machine that you actually have, and you will create your design in your design space or whatever software you use for your cutting machine, and it will cut face up like this with the color showing towards you. And this is the permanent vinyl. Now on this one right here, you see a white backing, and I'm actually going to show you the vinyl I use. This is actually the vinyl I use right here. It's actually color on one side, and if I remove the tape real quick so you can see the back, you'll see the white backing on the end, which is what you see right here. So when you do heat transfer vinyl, you have to do a technique that's called mirror, which is you basically cutting your image backwards. So heat transfer vinyl, you will have to cut it backwards, so you see the white here, the color lays on the mat. Whereas your regular permanent vinyl, you put the actual backing on the back and you see your color on top. Now how can you tell the difference between the two? Well, that's pretty easy. I'm gonna get these two right here, that's easier. So both of these are vinyl, but one of them is permanent vinyl and the other one is heat transfer vinyl. And how you can tell is by looking at the back of it. So unless you can see this on camera, I'm gonna go ahead and move this out the way. So on the back of this right here, you see a white backing. Now one of this is paper. So right here, this is a paper backing. And if I pull a piece of this off right here, you will see that vinyl, permanent vinyl, has a sticky, as you can hear that, but a sticky backing because it's sticking to my finger, and you still see the color. So the front is the color, so is the back. So, but it's sticking, and then here's the paper. So when you actually cut your image or your design on permanent vinyl, once you weed out your excess material, the stuff you don't need, your design will be still on the backing. Whereas on this one, this is heat transfer vinyl. And here's the back of it. And what this is, you will cut it, like I said, backwards. You will cut it on this side. So when you weed out the stuff you don't need, your design stays on a thing that's called a carrier sheet. And I will do a little pick right here so you can see this. So you can see what it looks like. So when I pull a little bit of this back, you will see, here's your color, those stuff you're gonna be seeing on your shirt. So the white part will stick to your actual soft fabric or even some type of wood surface. And there's this little plastic here, so you can see that plastic. It's kind of plastic, see my finger here is clear. This is called a carrier sheet, where you will actually, once you weed out your design, and I'll show you this in the examples right here. Once you weed out your design, this little plastic part is what you will put face down like this on your actual item. And this is the part that will protect your image, so it won't melt using your heat press. Now, speaking of heat press, when you use heat transfer vinyl, you must have heat, this is where it says heat, to transfer that vinyl. So with permanent vinyl, it just sticks to your objects. If I was to cut this out right now, let me just pull a piece right here. it would just stick to me like so. Whereas if I do the same thing here, let me get that piece again. If I were just to pull this right here, nothing's sticking to me. It's not sticking to me. Why? Because you need the heat to have it stick to whatever object you're doing. So permanent vinyl is a big sticker. Heat transfer, you need heat to transfer it. Now, what kind of heat do you need? It could be anything as much as a Cricut Easy Press or the mini press, which I have right here. Or on the side right here, I have my big heat press, which I'll kind of pull in front right here. I have my big heat press, which is heating up right now to use. So if you're just starting out as a beginner, you do not need to get this big, I call it big baby. You don't need a big baby right now. You can start with as much as this little bitty mini Easy Press. This is about $49 on Amazon or at any of the Michaels, Hobby Lobby, Joann's. I will leave a link down below, so if you want to get this through Amazon, you can purchase that way. Same thing with the Cricut, the big one. This is a 12 by 15, I think. It's the biggest one I have. It's the Easy Press 2. They do have a third one out there, but I use the second one. That's about, maybe $2.99. I can't remember. I got that as a bundle, but I will leave links down below where you can purchase this. So you can just get this as a starter. You don't have to get this big one, or you can get the small one, which is 9 by 9. So either a small one you start, or you can get one of these other sides, or you can even use your household iron. The only difference with the iron though is that it will not give you the even heat that you need like you would get with your big baby heat press or even the Cricut Easy Press right here. You need even heat to transfer your vinyl. But if that's all you have right now, that's all you can afford in your budget, especially if you're a beginner and you're just starting out, then your household iron will work just fine. So let's go ahead and just put these up right here. And one thing about the actual vinyl, and that's why I'm going to put these back up here, you can get them in big rolls, especially if you use these a lot. So this is, like I said, this is the actual, I have to fill it. This is my permanent vinyl. And how I can tell, because you can see right now, they're both white, they're both black. If you was working on a project, how do you know which is which? Well, first I actually label it for one thing, but if you don't even have it labeled, all you have to do is look at the back end. So if you see paper back here, then you know that is permanent vinyl. If you don't feel any paper, if it feels kind of glossy, like I say, you don't feel the paper, and you can kind of tell which is paper, then you know that this is actually your heat transfer vinyl. So same thing with the black. There'll be paper on the back of it. Pull out a little bit here. You'll see paper on the back of it if it's actually your permanent vinyl, and then you'll see no paper in the back. You'll see the actual color on some vinyls. Like I said, this is black. You can tell this is black. That was white. Other permanent vinyl, such as this one right here, or I'm sorry, such a heat transfer vinyl. Other heat transfer vinyl, such as this one, you see the color here, but you see it's white back here. So not all of them will have a color on the back of it for heat transfer. And it also comes in different sizes. So this right here is heat transfer, came in a sheet. You can also get them in a bigger sheet. So this is heat transfer. You see the color here, and you see a glossy part right here. And they always tell you put your color side down or your actual glossy side, which is sometimes, this is a matte one, but this is kind of glossy. And the reason why that is because the carrier sheet needs to be actually on your mat. And if you can't tell which one it is, then take your little weeding tool and just basically pick a little small corner and pull back a little bit of your actual vinyl to see if there is a plastic sheet. If there's a plastic sheet there, then that's the part that goes down on your mat, which is what you see right here. My plastic part is actually sticking onto this mat. So yeah, so it comes in different shapes and sizes. Like you can get them in a roll, you can get them in sheets here. Same thing with the actual permanent vinyl. Now this is all permanent vinyl. It can come in matte, in a big old sheet that you can get from any website like 133 Vinyl, or even if you have a local craft store in your neighborhood, you can pick that up. Or you can go to the Hobby Lobbies, Joann's, Michaels, and get in these rolls. This is actually the permanent vinyl Cricut makes that came with my actual cutting machine as a bundle. So sometimes if you get a bundle, which I recommend, if you're going to start this project or start using the Cricut, grab you a bundle because you get practice material That way you have to worry about spinning this separately, because right now this is all separate stuff. You have to buy this separately outside of your Cricut. So if you just buy your Cricut machine first, you still have to have some type of vinyl. But if you get a bundle, then you actually get, and this right here, it has the colors. So I have like, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 colors. I have the red, orange, lighter orange, green, blue, and a darker green. So I actually have a lot of vinyl to play with right here if I was just practicing. And this is about 12 by 12, which is kind of like what these sheets are. They come by 12 by 12, and then you basically cut it down to size based on your project. So there's the Cricut brand, there's the Paper Studio brand, and then there's this other one called 405. So they come in different brands. So you don't always have to get the Cricut brand. You can get any brand that is going to be for your budget. Now, Cricut is one that would say get your Cricut. I'm not sponsored by any of these. I go for sales. So I bought, this came with a Cricut machine because it was a bundle. I got this. It's an everyday price at Hobby Lobby. It's $7. And then this was on clearance for $3. So I usually hit the clearance section up on anywhere I go, and I pick up my vinyl. Or you can go to the website like 143 Vinyl and pick them up and see what kind of deals they have as well. But you can also get them on Amazon. So I actually got, this is another brand, Tech Wrap Vinyl. I bought this whole pack of sheets. This is like a 12 by 12. It don't say, but it's like, it looks like a 12 by 12 right here. You know, like the square ones. And yeah, this right here, I got this from Amazon. So you can get these from Amazon too, or any website that sells vinyl. So like Amazon, like I said, Amazon is a great place to start with if you just want to get a bundle. They come with these little bundles. Other websites I go to will give you like a stack of these. So just wherever you feel comfortable shopping at, you can get your vinyl anywhere. So that is the difference in how you can tell the difference between vinyl, that's permanent, like a big sticker, or the heat transfer vinyl, also known as HTV, or as Cricut will call it, everyday iron-on. So if you hear those words interchangeably, they're the same thing. You need heat to transfer that vinyl. So I'm going to go ahead and put these up right here. We are finna do our first project right here. So like I said, this is the heat transfer vinyl. My heat press is ready to go, so it's already warmed up. If you do have a big heat press, before you start cutting out your design, go ahead and get this thing on, because it takes a long time for this to heat up. Whereas your easy press over here, it takes seconds for it to hit that temperature. So I have this set for 315. And one thing that I didn't mention earlier in the video, for heat transfer vinyl, check with your manufacturer about what temperature and time and pressure. Now you're probably wondering, what is that? When you use heat transfer vinyl, each vinyl company, depending on where you get it from, has a certain type of temperature that you need to have your heat press set to, or your easy press, so that way your vinyl can stick to your t-shirt and won't fall off. Now this right here, as you can tell, it's glitter. So glitter is a little bit more pressure and a little bit more heat, whereas this is just plain color. So it does depend on the type of heat transfer vinyl you are using. So for me, I have glitter here. So this one was a little bit at a different pressure and a different temperature, whereas this one, it's just a plain solid color. I keep the same pressure because I don't change my pressure, but I might change maybe my temperature setting and how long I actually press it for you. So we're going to go ahead and do the easy one first, and that is the permanent vinyl. And I'm going to stick this on this little chalkboard little thing. You can kind of hold it like this. And I bought this from the Dollar Tree, so don't think you have to go to Michael's, Hobby Lobby, whatever to get stuff. You can go to the Dollar Tree and get some cool stuff and make something neat. So this is a basic chalkboard. I'm going to basically put the words on it, and I had what I was going to put on here. I don't know what I did with it, but I'm basically putting it boss. Oh, here it is. So I'm going to put bossing it like a boss, because I am a boss running my own small business. So I thought it would be cute to put this on a t-shirt, as well as a little affirmation sign that I can put on my desk to see it. So this is what I'm going to put on there. And how you get this right here to fit this size or your t-shirt size is in your design space, or wherever you actually using your cutting machine. You want to first measure your actual blank, and that's what these are called. These are called blanks. So whether it's a t-shirt or a chalkboard or a cup, those are called blanks. So if you hear somebody says, what kind of blank are you using? They're talking about the object that you're going to put your vinyl, whether it is permanent vinyl or HTV, heat transfer vinyl. That you want to make sure that you measure your blanks. So for the first one right here, since I'm doing permanent vinyl on this, because it's going to be a big sticker, once I stick this sticker on here, it is not pulling off. So I'm going to go ahead and Measure this real quick. You need a tape measure right here. I measured the width here. This is about a little bit 3.5 by maybe 4. So I kind of kept it kind of really small. So I think I did it by 2.5 and some change. And that way it fits perfect in here. So all I'm going to do is take my weeding tool. This is where I cut in design specs. I'm using Cricut Explore Air 2. And the first thing you first do when you weed is you start from the corner. So I'll just pick some from the corner. And I'm just going to pull this off slowly. Make sure that everything is still sticking on my back end. And this is one thing that when you do first start, you want to start slow. Make sure that all your pieces are sticking to the actual paper. And don't worry if anything comes up while you're doing this, you can always put it right back down. And the one thing that I forgot to bring out here is transfer tape, because you do need transfer tape when you do this. Yeah, sometimes when you use little bitty words, it actually will have a hard time getting up. So for something like this, what I probably should have done is a technique that's called reverse weeding. And what that is basically I'm taking the words backwards, because I think I just lost my I in other words. So I'm gonna go ahead and redo this again, because yeah, I lost half my letters on here, because this, depending on what vinyl you use, not all vinyl are the same. This is a vinyl I got, I think, off a website. I'm just trying to use it up because it's not my best vinyl. But yeah, it did not come up the way I wanted, because you should have your words left on here. So I'm gonna reprint this one out for you guys and put that in the video here. But since I do have this on, let's go ahead and move on to the actual heat transfer one. So this one should be a little bit easier. So same thing, you want to actually peel a corner here. And I like to start at the bigger corner here. And then I'm just going to pull back, like I said, I'm just pulling back the actual excess vinyl that I don't need. And if you, I don't know if you can tell, but there is a white plastic here. But once I lift it up, you'll be able to see it better. Now the HTV vinyl works a lot better. It actually removes a lot easier than sometimes the permanent vinyl does. So don't get discouraged if when you like you saw me there trying to get all that up. That depends on what vinyl you're using. So that is, like I said, a brand that I really didn't like when I first started working with vinyl. I just saw that on a website and like, okay, let me try it. And yeah, it's not the best vinyl in the world, but since I do have it, I do like to use it. So I'm just gonna pull this up real quick, like so, and remove everything out. And yes, weeding, depending on who you ask, can be very common or be very frustrating. So it just depends on which one it is. So that's how it looks right now. You kind of see it's kind of red a little backwards. There's little pieces here that you got to take out, like the words here, like, oops, something's out of the way right now. Like some of the inside the letters here. So we have to weed those out too. So just going to weed these out like so. Let me go ahead and get this right here. And just weed this out. Like that. And if you wonder where I got this from, I am part of a group called Makers Gonna Learn. I'll leave their website stuff down below as a membership program, so definitely check them out, because when I was a beginner learning how to do my Cricut, this website saved my life, as well as some other people that I will link down below. But Makers Gonna Learn is a great resource if you want to just learn anything. They have a YouTube channel as well, and they have a membership, so definitely check them out, because this is a little, you can hold your tools in here like so. You know, if I can put my, it works sometimes. Like so, you can hold your tools here, or you can put the little weeding parts in there. It's like a little egg, and it opens up with the little weeding bits on here. So I use it for my little weeding. But if you don't have one of these, you can basically use one of these here, or I even keep an old cleanup box and I stick them in here. So there's like tips and tricks on how to get this weeding so it's not stuck everywhere. But yeah, so I'm just gonna go ahead and just weed this out real quick. And it's easier if you have bigger words to weed than if you have like small ones, because then these things come up really easy. So just like that. And just kind of go like word by word. Just make sure you got every of the inner pieces out. And I think that's everything. I don't see nothing here. So that's how it looks when it's fully weeded. So go with gravity. Just going to pull this back here off the mat. And there you have it. See, here's the little clear plastic sheet. This is called a carrier sheet. This is the part that you stick, like I said, the white part goes onto your shirt because it makes you reversed out. This is the part that's going to be shown on your shirt. This is a protective sheet, so protection vinyl, so it is heat protective. So I can put this on my actual shirt and put the heat press on top of it, and it will not melt anything out. So I'm going to go ahead and prep my actual t-shirt. My extra vinyl, the excess, stick it in my little box. When it gets full, I just dump it and keep the box. So that's a little tip for you. You got an old toilet Kleenex box, keep that. That makes a great place for your weeding excess bits. So here is my t-shirt. And I will go back and do that video. I will go back and do this actual one that's permanent. But I want to go ahead and get this taken care of because that's starting to get hot in this room. So this is just a basic cotton t-shirt. 100% cotton. It's from Gildan. It is Gildan Soft Style. I actually kind of prefer Bella Canvas, but I do like the Soft Style Gildan. But you can use any shirt you want. You can get this from, I got this one from Amazon actually in a 3-pack. You can go to Walmart to get them. They sell them there. Hobby Lobby sells them. Does anybody have t-shirts, or even to the manufacturer? You can go to Gildan.com probably and get some shirts too. So I'm just going to basically measure this out, which is what I did before I even cut this out, to see what size I want. Now this is a medium shirt, so it's for me. So depending on where I want it, I didn't want it too big, but I didn't want it too small either. So I think I measured this about, I just have my tape measure here, about maybe like 6, a little bit over 6 maybe, and maybe about 3. So that's probably about how much it is. So I'll kind of like show you right now how it looks. Let me make sure there's nothing extra on here. Boop. So it's kind of like gonna look like this. So once I actually find out where I'm gonna put it at, it's gonna look just like that. And once I actually heat this down and pull this carrier sheet off, this actual vinyl will stay on there. So let me go ahead and go over here to the heat press. I will remove the camera so you can see what I'm doing, and we'll go from there. Stay tuned. All right, guys, so I'm over here to the heat press right now. And the first thing you want to do is you want to take your t-shirt, which you can kind of see right here. And I'm just going to, probably see off camera, but I'm going to take my lint roller right here. I'm just going to lint roll it, make sure there's no other stuff on here. Because you don't want, because once you press anything underneath this right here, it will stay on your t-shirt. So I got the lint up here. And then you want to go ahead and put this under either your heat press right here or your easy press back here. And you want to get the moisture out as well as get out some of the wrinkles. So I'm just going to put this over here. Just like so. If you're using one of these, please be careful because that is a hot plate right there and it will burn you. So I'm just going to put this right here. Make sure it's up. I'm just going to close it down. Make sure it's kind of flat a little bit. Because it's been in a box with all my other t-shirts. Make sure that tag is down. I have to press that tag down too. There we go. And I'm just going to press it for a few seconds just to get some of the wrinkles out. I'm just going to hold it. I'm not even going to lock them. Just basically going to hold this down for a minute. And yes, the timer will start counting down for you. Don't have to worry about that. So I'm just going to press it a little bit more. Because I like to get the wrinkles out as well as the moisture. So just a few more seconds. Okay. And that right there, you know, still got wrinkles in it, but I just wanted to get it out. So I'm taking it out so I can get it cool right now. And now what I'm going to do is actually take my actual thing in here. And you want to go 3 to 4 fingers down from the collar. So I'm not sure you can see it, but there's a collar right here, the little bottom. So I like to go 4 fingers down. And that's where I kind of put this at here. Now, if you want to really get a center, you can actually fold this in half, kind of pinch it right here. And then you get a little indent, like so. And that will kind of tell you where the center is. And also, too, the tag, if you ever notice it, that tag is in the center. So you could actually line up your actual image to where that tag's at. And you know exactly that you're in the center. So 4 fingers down. I did a little creasing to where I'm making sure that there's nothing on here, like no other type of vinyl pieces, because if you got any excess vinyl pieces over here, it will transfer onto your t-shirt. So 4 fingers down, put it right there. Probably bring it down a little bit more. So like so. and like that. Now, if you want to, you can put one of those a parchment paper over it, butcher paper, or the Teflon sheet. It's not necessary because this protective sheet, this carrier sheet, you can actually press on it. So if you want to go ahead and do that, but I just kind of press it like this, and I'm going to go ahead and close this out. Make sure there's no other pieces on there. Make sure my shirt's a little flat. All right, so I'm going to close this and lock it, and it's going to go for 15 seconds. All right, we got a few seconds left. My machine's going to beep with me. I'm going to go ahead and pull this out and move it over here onto the thing. So I'm going to go ahead and turn this off because we are done with this. So I'm going to go ahead and go back to the table here, and with the camera so you can see. Okay guys, so I'm back over here on the table. When you actually deal with anything on the heat press, you also want to check to see what type of peel you need to do, which means, do I peel this while it's freshly hot or when it cools off? This one is actually a warm peel. I did let it cool off a little bit too much, but that's fine because then I can just pull it off like normal. So I'm just going to get ahead and take one corner and slowly pull this back. If you see any of your actual vinyl pulling back up, then you can just basically put it back onto the actual press. But so far, my vinyl is not coming up. It looks like everything's stuck on it. And voila, the carrier sheet is clear. Keep these carrier sheets because you can actually use these over and over again to put over other pieces of HTV or heat transfer vinyl. So I always keep this. I basically put parchment paper in between them and kind of keep it in a little box. That way I don't have to worry about getting an actual heat transfer tape. So definitely keep these sheets on here. And here you go. That's how it looks. Bossing it like a boss. So you can self-promote your own stuff, make your own t-shirts. So that's pretty easy right there. And it feels pretty good right now. It's very, you can feel it. It feels like it's part of the shirt, right? You don't really feel nothing hard on it. Now, if you are using an easy press, whether it's a mini or any size of the easy press from Cricut, once you actually heat the front side, Cricut recommends that you turn it around and heat the back of it because you need to make sure that that actual vinyl, the heat transfer vinyl, is adhered to your shirt very well. If you're using the big one, you don't have to worry about that because as you saw, I locked that thing and I'm getting very firm, steady pressure, whereas the actual Cricut Easy Press, you have to kind of hold on to it and try to get that pressure. And I'm way a buck what? Buck 5, buck 10 or something like that. So I'm not very strong to hold that. So when you use any Easy Press, make sure that once you do the front side, you turn around, keep the carrier sheet still on it, and just heat the back side for maybe another 5-10 seconds, depending on what it tells you to do. Cricut Easy Press do have instructions, and it tells you, okay, what to do and how long to do it for. So definitely check that out with that. But there you have it right there. That is the HTV right here. Now let me go ahead and redo this one for the actual permanent vinyl, and I'll come right back. Okay guys, so I went ahead and used the exact same sheet because like I said, I'm trying to get rid of this actual vinyl, and it's cut this side up, but I actually brought in transfer tape. Now this transfer tape is strictly for permanent vinyl. Now there is transfer tape for heat transfer vinyl, and it will say on the actual thing heat transfer vinyl, but you really don't need it because as I said, that carrier sheet is for transfer vinyl. So once you actually cut your image on it, it stays on that carrier sheet. But you can use that to place on top of other heat transfer vinyl, or even if you're trying to do 2-in-1 to protect your other vinyl. But I do have 2 out. This is the Cricut brand, and this is a brand I got from 143 Vinyl. And I have a couple tools here. I have my actual True Control knife, and of course that's my weeding tool because I want to cut the excess out here. So I'm just gonna cut out the part I don't need. Just kind of looking real close so I can cut just my actual part off and not my image. So be careful because this is a very sharp knife, and this is basically just an X-Acto knife, so you don't have to use the actual True Control knife. Now depending on the new bundles that's out there, you might already have some of these tools included with your bundle. I think when I bought mine, it did come with my tools. I bought this separately, but when I found out it was just an actual X-Acto knife, I actually had one of those, so I didn't need it, but this works just fine too. So I'm going to go ahead and pull this stuff out because I don't need that part. So keep your scrap vinyl because you can always use it for other projects. So, except for the heat transfer vinyl. Once you peel that exit out, there's no using that thing again. It is basically trash. So try to maximize it. If you want to budget, maximize the space of what you're trying to use your vinyl for, and that'll work. So I'm going to use the actual Cricut brand here, and I'm going to do a thing called reverse weeding. So as you saw earlier in the video, I was trying to weed it this way, and I was kind of struggling with that. But this technique called reverse weeding, I'm basically going to weed on the actual transfer vinyl. So I'm just going to cut this out. And this has grids on it, so you can kind of see where you're cutting at. And actually, I'm going to do it this way so I can see the grids. So I'm just going to cover it up real quick. See where we're at. So it looks like we're about here. So I'm just going to use my scissors. And it doesn't have to be exactly perfect on it. I just basically want to cut as much as I can off. And I think this will be enough. So this is my transfer vinyl right here. I'm basically going to cover up the entire thing. So I'm just going to pull this out. And it has a paper here, so you just basically have to kind of rip the paper. You can use your actual, well, actually I ripped it with my hand. And just pull that backing off. And this is just another sticker, or on top of another sticker. So I'm just going to go here. As one of my favorite people found, Tanner Bell from Maker's Gonna Learn, the taco effect. You basically taco it down. And then let it fall into place. And then with a squeegee, which I thought I had one up here, you just want to burnish that down really good, because you want to make sure that that part sticks to it. So I'm just making sure it's under real good. And then I'm going to flip it around, go with gravity, and you're just going to pull the entire thing out, like so. So now the entire thing is on that tape. So now all we're going to do is pull the backing off. Alexa, cancel. Sorry, I'm not sure why he was talking to me. So now I'm just going to pull the backing off first. So now as you can see, I don't have any of my vinyl on the paper. If I had a better vinyl, which like I said, 143 vinyl is a good place to go, because their StarCraft vinyl is like butter. It would have stayed on here, but this is a cheaper brand. So now what I got to do now is pull this yellow backing off. So same thing as I was doing on the mat, but instead on the mat, I'm actually going to do it on the sticker here. So I'm just going to pick a corner here and slowly pull this off, trying to leave everything on the actual tape. Now this technique can take some time right here, so definitely go slow here. That's why you saw me really using my scraper tool and getting it stuck on there. Now I'm taking my weeding tool and just getting all those little small pieces between the S's out. So going here. I'm just going to go from top to bottom. Now if you wanted to, you can actually take your scissors and cut some of that off if you don't want to deal with it. So I'm going to take my scissors here and just cut some of that off, making sure I don't cut anything that I might need. So, and this is where, like I said, my little box come in handy. Stick it in there. Okay, and then keep on going. Trying to make sure I get word by word. Take my weeding tool that kind of helped me assist between the letters. And you want to be careful too, because it's a big sticker. So you want to make sure that it don't stick to your hand, because sometimes it will stick to you, these letters. So I try to be very careful and only grab the images. So I'm going to go ahead and get the big pieces off. So like I said, big pieces off, just go ahead and get that off. And then come back in here, get the other ones, using my little weeding tool here to kind of pick away from it. Okay, so I look like I'm finna lose my S. So let me get this up real quick. Make sure I don't lose any. Okay, I look like I lost my S, so that's okay. I can just pick that S out. Okay, I'll come back with that S because it's right there. Just make sure I don't rip that S out. Okay, so my S did kind of get stuck to it, because like I was saying, make sure you don't have that sticker on it. It did stick to it, but I do have other weeding tools in here. So yeah, weeding tools here so I can kind of get that S off here if possible. Try to get it over here because I see a corner of it. Okay. So I'm gonna have to move that out. So let me cut this off real quick and lay it somewhere. I'm gonna have to get to that here. So I'm just gonna lay it on this little backing right here because I have to really do some surgery to get that one off. But if you can't, it's not a big deal. You can just go in there and print another S out if you wanted to. So I'm just trying to see if I can get that off my finger. There we go, like so. Is it gonna get off? Like I say, yeah, it's a big sticker. So like I said, this vinyl sticks on you. There, okay, eventually, okay, there we go. So I'll need that right there. And then let's get the rest of this out. It looks like I only lost one. So get the rest of this out here. Okay, so that one's good. And I got one more piece to get out here. All right, so look like I'm good right there. Yeah, this part right here can be a little, because you can see it's sticking to me. It's a big old sticker. So that's why I have this box here, because I don't want this sticker anywhere else. And that's kind of what it looks like right now. You can kind of see it, unless you can see it with the camera. But that's how it looks right now. And then we're just going to go in here and slowly get these small pieces out. That's in between the letters. Like so. Okay, there's a little dot here with my S right there. That's kind of why I use this little thing to clean it. So we're just gonna keep going. I see the O has something in it. Yeah, it gets trickier when you use like small ones. Like you see when I did the t-shirt, when you have bigger letters, it's easier to get the little small ones out. Because like I said, I use the exact same words. But these little ones, it's very difficult to get the little bitty things out when you get smaller. So get this out. Just trying to get this O. I think I broke my O, but that's okay. And then one more letter, B. So I got all the inner pieces out. You kind of have to look at it and see right here. So I got all my little letters out. I can see the words now, bossing it like a boss, but I lost one of my S's. So now I'm gonna see if I can squeeze this one out and get this out of here. So I'm taking my other tweezers and just gonna try to see if I can pick it off here. Because sometimes you can just pull it off this little sticker. So I think I got it. Okay, I'm just trying to get, where's my other tweezers? Yeah, Cricut gives you a lot of tweezers. So I'm trying to find the other one I have. Okay, here we go. Nope, that's not it. Up there. No, that's not it either. Not sure what to do with the other tweezer. I have an actual other tweezers, but I don't know where it went. Oops, sorry. So it's not up here. So I'm gonna have to, actually I think I know what I did with them because I was using it for something else, probably in my room. Bedroom. So let's see if I can get this out. So I'm just trying to save this S. I'm going to try this one that has actual grip on it. Up. And I think I got it, but I might have ripped it. So I'll see. So there's my S right there. So now I'm just going to go ahead and put it right side up. So yes, there's my little S right there. And actually, if I don't know what the words look like, I can always go back to my image here. And actually, I did kind of mess up that S. So let me just hold that real quick. Pull this one off. Because that is not even the right S anymore. And now I'm just going to kind of put it right here like so. So it looked like I lost my little actual circle. So it kind of did not come out right like I wanted to in this video, because as you can see my S's should be the same right there. But you kind of get the gist of that. Like I said, when you get to the little small ones, yeah, if I would have had the reverse one and like I said, watch the stickiness, it would have worked this better. But that's okay though, because like I said, this, it still looks like an S, it's just not the same S. So now we're going to go ahead and transfer this onto our actual blank. Now, when you get any of these blanks, you want to make sure you get this cleaned up. I do not have my alcohol swabs, but I'm just going to use a lint-free towel here, or you can use baby wipe. Just want to make sure that there's no fingerprints on here. And then carefully, same thing, taco method. You want to find where you want to put it at right here. And with your little scraper tool, you want to make sure that you really scrape that thing on here nice so it can stay on here. So you got something like this. I'm just basically taking this and making sure it's sticking that on there, because it's a big sticker. And then you can even take your fingers if you want to, but yeah, you just want to scrape it down there real good. And then slowly, I say everything slowly here, pull your transfer tape back. If you start seeing anything pull up, put the transfer tape back down. And it looks like I lost some of my tape here. So the tape is trying to stay on here. There we go. That tape up. I don't want that tape on there. This tape is ripping on here. Put that up. Yeah, my little transfer tape trying to rip and stay on there. So I'm trying to get it up and stick it back on here. Okay, there we go. Just trying to stick it onto my thing. So yeah, I'm just slowly pulling that back. Okay, and it looks like some of the tape is coming up right here. And there you have it. Bossing it like a boss. So now you can see that right there. I'll bring it closer to the video so you can see it. Right there. Bossing like a boss. Looks like I kind of got a little crooked right there. But there you have it right there. And with this being a nice little dollar project, if I wanted to, I can paint this color to anything else. I could have even painted this actual black if I wanted to. So let me go ahead and get this stuff out the way. Right here. Oh, and you definitely could have kept your transfer tape too if you wanted to. I got plenty of that tape. But if you're trying to be budget conscious, definitely keep the tape. So let's bring the shirt back here. So there you have it right here. Vinyl versus vinyl. Permanent vinyl, this is permanent, so it's not coming off. Once it's stuck on here, it is not coming off. Same thing with the heat transfer vinyl. Once this is on your t-shirt or anything that's soft like this, or even if you use a wood thing, this is not coming off. Now, a little tip about the HTV. You must wait 48 hours before you wash this. Otherwise, this might pull back up when you wash it. So wait at least 48 hours before washing any type of heat transfer vinyl, especially on t-shirts. And if you do wash it inside out. Now, I have not put mine inside out, but I have waited 48 hours. Like, this is a 48-hour shirt. This is especially a 2-week-old shirt. And I already washed it, and the vinyl is still on there. But see, I did use my big one. Now, I'm not sure how well it holds up on the Cricut Easy Press, because I did do some when I first started with the vinyl. The heat transfer vinyl, that is. And yes, it did kind of peel up a little bit with that, because you have to do it on both sides. But I have noticed if you get a big industrial one, it tends to last longer. Now, I want to show you a little other things you can do with the vinyl. So right here, this is actually permanent vinyl on a wine tumbler. This is a basic wine tumbler. It's not sublimation. That's a whole other animal. If you want to know about that, definitely hit the like button, the subscribe button down below, and I will show you some videos on how to do sublimation on glasses like this. But this is just a basic wine tumbler, and it's actually stain sticker. This right here, you wash by hand. You don't put these in the dishwasher, but over time, and I made this about a year ago, this right here is not coming off. So that's just regular sticker right there. This right here, it's just a regular wood panel board. I got this from the Dollar Tree as well. And this is actually heat transfer vinyl on this actual board. So it's not the vinyl to be used here. It is heat transfer vinyl. So you can use the heat transfer vinyl on other stuff besides the soft blank, you can use it on something like this. So I definitely did that with that using my easy mini press. So I basically use the mini press right here and just ironed it down. And yeah, this right here is not coming off. So that's also heat transfer vinyl. And then this right here, it's just a canvas. So that is just one of those little canvas panels that you get from Michael's. Comes in a pack of 5, whatever. It's a 5x7. It's a little board. And that's just using a sticker. So the same technique as I use here, I basically used this right here for this panel, and I just stuck it in a frame. But you can also use heat transfer vinyl on this same thing as well. It's a very hard back. So that's the beauty about some of these vinyls. You can use it for both, but you can't use everything for it. So example, you cannot use permanent vinyl on your t-shirts or anything that's cloth related because it will peel off. Like I said, it's a sticker. Stickers tend to peel off. So yes, if you do have a a bundle that came with your Cricut cutting machine, it's gonna probably come with only the actual permanent vinyl. Do not put this on your t-shirt. Do not use heat on this vinyl because it will melt your vinyl and it can mess up your actual easy press. So just a FYI, if you are getting a bundle set and it comes with vinyl, whether it is permanent or removable, because there is another one called removable vinyl, these do not go on t-shirts or any type of cloth. It will melt and it can ruin your actual press here. So permanent vinyl is a sticker. Sticker needs to be on something harder, or like I said, this is hard too. But HTV can go on this as well as this. I haven't tried putting HTV on cups yet. I'm sure you could do it using the actual mini press. I haven't tried that yet, so maybe I will. But yeah, so here's the different things you can put on. You can put on stuff like this or vinyl. You go in here. So here's something just from regular blanks that you can put the vinyl on it, the permanent vinyl. So you can make signs here, make this little cute little outdoor signs that you see people on the doors. This can go with HTV or permanent vinyl. But the bottom right here, this is only permanent vinyl. So this stuff right here in the middle, you can basically do both. So right here in the middle, HTV or permanent vinyl. But the things on this side over here, permanent vinyl only, and only HTV over here. So I hope this video was very helpful. I know it kind of was a little long, but I know I had a lady ask me a question about what's the difference between permanent and HTV. So I thought, I'm gonna make a video about it. So if you have any other questions or you want me to test anything else out, definitely leave a comment down below. And if you like this video, definitely hit the subscribe button, hit that thumbs up button, hit that bell. That way you'll be notified on any other videos that I post on this channel. Once again, this is your girl Stefanie with Steffi Jewels. And as I always like to end my video, you'll never know what treasures you'll find here at Steffi Jewels. Hope to see you soon. Bye.